Traders, welcome back to the channel. Ralphdatrader here, back with another weekly NQ recap video. Like always, man, I just like to walk through this previous week to look at some opportunities that were available to us during the time that we're looking to trade. And you guys know that it's the New York session for me. So mainly if you want to trade NQ, I know some other setups happen during the London session as well, but I mainly look at it during the New York session. All right. So we just want to recap this week to see some opportunities that we could have taken advantage of. All right. And before we do that, so signal days. We always need a signal day. Okay. So the ones that I look for is when price has closed in breakout. So I look for when markets has closed in breakout. All right. And I also look for inside day and if price had triggered a previous day's high or low. Those are my signals that I look for. And then I pay attention to how price is behaving in the 100 pip box, the timings, and I'm looking, for confirmation, right? In that timing window that I'm looking to trade in between. Okay, so that is it. My trading is really simple. That's how I trade. All right, so now let's get right into it. Now going into that Monday, all right, we can clearly see that on Friday we had a market that closed in breakout. The market closed above a previous week's a previous day's level. All right, so the Friday did close above Thursday high. That giving me a signal of a market that closed in breakout. Now heading to Monday, I have my signal. Okay, that is my signal to let me know that I potentially have a setup. Okay, so on in Monday, we had a market that closed in breakout. I also had no major red news events. So there was no news out on the calendar for Monday. So for me, and this is just me, all right, you can do it as you choose. But for me, if there's no major red news events out, okay, and if I see a setup that I identify, that I personally identify, if I have a chance to be in the market before 9:30, I will take an entry. Okay, that's just me. If you want to wait until after 9:30, then you do that, but you follow your trading plan. I can only show you guys what I tell you guys what I do. Okay. So once again, we had a market that closed in breakout, a market that closed above of Thursday's high on Friday. That is our signal. Now going into our Monday. Now I'm just looking to see how price is behaving in the session that I'm trading, and that is the New York session. All right, we had no major red news. We can clearly see that right off the open. All right, right off the close, right off of the close. Okay, so we had this little gap, and then you can see that the market did push up to the upside as the session had opened up at 6 p.m. Okay, so we had a market that pushed up, right? And then it was just pretty much just accumulating, man. It was, just putting in some higher highs and some higher lows. And then now once we get in, roll over into our New York session, we can see that first hour had made a nice little dump down. Second hour, they gave a nice little pump back up. All right. So now we're still in that second hour. You can see here at 9 a.m., they get a nice engulfing. All right, you get a nice engulfing, and you can see that the behavior of prices. Pay attention to where price is at, guys. Price is at the top part of a 100 pip box. Okay, so all of this behavior of price here is up underneath 75. So if you look left, you can see the price level is 20,675. That is one of our levels of our 100 pip box. So we're at that top part of our 100 pip box. All of this behavior prices below that level. So that is our selling area. And you can see that London puts in a higher high. And once we get into our New York session, you can see that price did fail to break that high. Okay, so now we're right up underneath, we're right around that 50 level. Okay, so we're right around 20,650, and you can see that prices holding up underneath that level. So at 9 a.m., you get a nice engulfing for a short trade to the downside, right? Right. You're in before 9:30. Okay. You get this engulfing, you take this move to the downside. Now, if you wanted to wait until after 9:30, you can see that now you had this breaker structure on this 15-minute time frame because now you had all of this volume that was up high. 9:30 breaks that because we had this candle that puts in a lower low, right? So now price traps holds all this volume up here at 9:30, then they pull it back. And then once you look at the price level, where did they pull it back to? Where did they pull back to? Right? They pull right back to a major level of support and resistance. Okay. They moved it back to 20,600 price level. So you get a nice 1, 2, 3 engulfing before you move right back to closing price. right? So no major red news. Out on Monday, you had two opportunities to really take a short trade here. Okay, two opportunities to take a short trade. Could have taken one before 9:30, and then you had one after 9:30. Okay, so you easily had your easy 50 pips, 50 points on a Monday, right? So heading into our Tuesday, okay, what signal do we have? We have a market that closed as an inside day. We had a market that closed inside of our previous day's high and our previous day's low. Okay, so that was our signal heading into Tuesday. So we had our signal on NQ, which was an inside day, which an inside day is a very, very powerful signal. All right, so if you have Stacy Burke's playbook, just go through that there and see what he has to say about inside days. He also has it on his YouTube channel. But on Tuesday, we had major red news out at 10 a.m. So we want to wait until after 10 a.m. for the major red news. So now, as you guys can see, we had an inside day trading signal. Then you can see price did also trigger our previous day's low. So we have another signal. All right, we have another signal. So we got two signals. We had the inside day. We had price trigger our previous day's low. All right, we have major red news out at 10 a.m. And then now, once you get into your New York session, you just want to see how price is behaving. All right, look at how price is behaving. Look at how they're getting traders to continue to try to short this market. People that trade breakouts at these lows. Okay. We're just accumulating or pulling, whichever one you want to use. All right. You can just see how they're just sitting here, and right at the open, okay, at 9:30. Once again, they get traders to short the market once again. All right. Get traded to short the market once again, pushing about almost 70 some points outside of our 100 pip box. Because if you look at here, look at look to the right, you can see we're right around a major level of support and resistance, which is 20,500. All right. So we're at that bottom part of the 100 pip box. All right. Then at 9:45, we get a nice engulfing, but we know we had major red news out at 10 a.m. So we want to wait until after this 10 a.m. But right. So after 10 a.m., you can see 10 a.m. closed as a spinning top candle, but we still closed as a bullish candle. Now you could have entered this trade um, right here at 10:15 if you preferred, or if you wanted to wait 15 minutes after. But this one candle right here gave you about 75 points. All right. One candle in 15 minutes after the major red news gave you about 75 points. All right. So that was a nice trade. And if you wanted to wait 15 minutes after, you could have entered at 10:30, right? And target the previous day's high. As you can just see, where's all of the money sitting. This is where all the money is sitting. All right. So we had the inside day trade signal, and we also had a previous day's low was triggered. All right. We had our confirmation. We had a nice engulfing here at 9:45. We waited to after major red news for the banger buy low setup. All right. On a Tuesday for a free cash Tuesday. That was an awesome trade. And congratulations to traders that did catch that trade. All right. Now heading into our free cash Wednesday, what signal did we have? All right. So we had a market that closed in breakout once again. Also on Tuesday, if you noticed that the market did trigger the previous day's low and the previous day's high. So which the OG Stacy Burke calls that a day zero setup, but I don't trade the day zero setups. I'm just still looking at the market closed in breakout. So we closed above the previous day's high, right? And we also closed above the previous week's high. So what I see is a market that closed in breakout. All right. I like to keep my stuff really simple. So we had a market that closed in breakout, right? Then you also notice that we also triggered the previous day's high, right? So I had a market that closed in breakout, a market that also triggered the previous day's high, and we also had NFP at 8:15. All right, so we had major red news at 8:15 and at 8:30. Now coming into the New York session, all right, and this was a trade I did take. So like I tell you guys, my session box opens up at 9 a.m. because I trade futures. So major red news was out at 8:15 and 8:30. But what I noticed the reason why I took this trade before 9:30 is that once again, I had a market that closed in breakout. Okay. Price also triggered a previous day's high. All right. Now, what I noticed, I'm just paying attention to market structure. I waited to after major red news. I can see that the market was breaking down. Okay. Market was breaking down. And also, what I noticed is that we're at the top part of 100 pip box, right? So once again, market is breaking down. We had all this volume that was sitting up here. Now, all of that volume, all right, on this candle right here, right around our major level of support and resistance, we're right around 20,700 price level. Now, once this candle here closed, okay, once this candle here closed, now all of this volume that's sitting up here is trapped above, all right? All this volume is trapped above. So for me, I just waited. All right, let this 9 a.m. candle close, and I just took an entry right around 77, somewhere right around here. So right around that 75 price level where I like to try to sell from either 70s, 75 or the double zero. So I took this trade, all right, because everything lined up for me, so I wasn't risking too much, and it played out in my favor because this is where the money was sitting at. So I just traded the stop hunt. Okay. I traded the stop hunt. Now, if you wanted to just wait until after 9:30, that is fine as well. Just know that, it was a nail and bell, okay? Because now you had this break of structure because you can see that the market was pumping up high, pumping up high. Now they come back, all right, on this 15 minute time frame right here. You had this break of structure because you had all this volume up here putting in higher highs, and then it started dumping down. All right, now we put in this lower low. And as you can see, you got this tweezer bottom at the bottom down here. And here was your 10 a.m. trade for 50 points. All you need is 50, guys. All right. So 50 points, you're good. So you get the confirmation with the tweezer bottom after 9:30. All right. Third hour. Okay. Get a nice little nail and bell for a 50-point move. Because I think they had like some consumer news, some around 10 a.m. I think we had like some orange folder news. Okay. So, but I did take I traded the stop hunt. All right. But that was another opportunity after 9:30 as well, right here on Free Cash Wednesday. Now, going into our Thursday, we need a signal. All right. What was the signal that we got coming into our New York session? We can see that price did trigger the previous day's low. Now, just because price has triggered a previous day's low, like I always tell you guys in these videos, you do not want to just hit the buy button once you get into your session just because it triggered previous day's low. We need to have confirmation, man. We got to have confirmation. All right. So we can see that the market was trending down. Okay, we can see that the market was trending down. We get our trigger of our previous day's low. Now, once we get in our New York session, we just want to look for confirmation. We need to have confirmation. All right, we need to have a setup. So as you get into your New York session, if you pay attention, okay, just look at the market. All right, so we had major red news out at 8:30. Okay, major red news out at 8:30. All right. Now, just pay attention to where price is at. All right, you're at the top part of your 100 pip box. All right, so we're sitting roughly around 20,400 price level. All right, so here's our major red news. Major red news has took traders higher. Okay, all right, wasn't really too bad of a news event because we didn't really get too bad of any like big spikes or whatever, right? But we did still have major red news. So major red news is sitting right around our major level of support and resistance, which is 20,400 price level. So we're at that top part of the 100 pip box. Now you can see how this market has started to break down. Okay, what do you identify as? Okay, what do you identify? What do you need to enter a trade? All right. So as you can see that we triggered the previous day's low, the market is trending down. All of prices below closing price. All right. Price is also at the top part of a 100 pip box. Timings, levels, behavior, price. So the level we're at the top part of the 100 pip box, which is our selling area. Okay. This market starts to roll over. They give you a nice engulfing here, right at 75. Okay. Give you a nice engulfing at 9:15. All right. So at this point, you just want to wait until after 9:30. Okay. Because I got the engulfing at 9:15. I don't want to get in at 9:30. Okay. And plus, we had major red news out. So I'm waiting to after 9:30. Okay. So I just want to wait. So we get this nice engulfing candle at 9:30. Right. So for people that was long, all right, during that gap time, now they just hit the stops on those guys. You get a nice closing candle at 9:30. Nice, nice candle here. 9:45, you're in for a low-hanging fruit continuation. All right. It just continued from the trend that it was in on Monday. Okay. So this was a low-hanging fruit trade. All right. Low hanging fruit trade. All right. Everything was confirmed. You had the top part of your 100 pip box. All right. You had a trigger of the previous day's low. Now you're just paying attention to how price is behaving in your session. Okay. You get the engulfing at 9:15. That is your confirmation. You just want to wait till after 9:30. 9:30 closes as a nice Mariposa momentum candle. 9:45, you're in. You're in 9:45. There's your trade. All right. There's your trade at 9:45. Now, going into our free cash Friday, all right, we need a signal day. So what signal day do we have? We have a market that closed in breakout, right? Market closed below Wednesday's low. Okay, we closed below Wednesday's low, right? And we also see that we closed below the previous week's low. So we had a market that closed in breakout on our Free Cash Friday. Now, what type of news events did we have for Free Cash Friday? So on Friday, we had non-farm payroll. We had NFP at 8:30. Okay, we had NFP at 8:30, and we also had some ISM manufacturing at 10 a.m. Okay, so at 10 a.m., we also had some major red news. So as you guys can clearly see, all right, the market was just falling, falling, falling. All right, it was falling. All right, as the session opens up, all right, you get a nice 1, 2, 3. 9:30 gives you an engulfing. All right, 9:30 gives you an engulfing. This right here, this 9:30 candle has confirmed. All right. You can see we had a nice dump. It coiled. All right. So base accumulated because we had our signal day, a market that closed in breakout. Now we're just paying attention to how price is behaving during our session. Okay. How is price behaving in our session? This gives you a nice 1, 2, 3 pattern. All right. 1, 2, 3 engulfing. All right. Had major red news out at 10 a.m. All right, so if you're on a smaller time frame, or you could just watch the clock, watch your clock. 10:05, you could have taken a trade. I actually took this trade. I actually took this trade at 9:45. Okay, so for me, I got in before the major red news, and I just had my stops down here, so wasn't risking too much. So if it would have stopped me out, but for me, everything was confirmed. This is a pattern that I love to see. A nice 1, 2, 3 engulfing. Okay, I like to see a nice 1, 2, 3 engulfing. That is the first pattern that I learned from the OG Stacy Burke. So I'm always confident in this pattern. But if you just pay attention to how price is behaving, you can see that price is failing to go lower. All right. So I wasn't too much concerned about the IMS major red news event. But if you want to wait until after the major red news, okay, just wait until after major red news and just pay attention to the clock. Because on the 5 minute time frame, you had an entry right at 10:05. All right. And that gave you a 100 point move. All right. So that was a trade on Friday. So hope you guys got value out of this video, man. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. All right. I really appreciate it. And like always, man, work hard, stay disciplined, and be patient, and know that your time will come and be the reason someone smiles today. Be the reason someone smiles today. Peace and love. Have a good one.